Hi all, Wind here. In today's video, I'm going to show how we could automate tag creation on incident records. So tags are really great reporting tools, or even just to kind of build your own dashboards. So I quickly want to show what tags are, what they look like, and then I've had so many questions on how do we actually automate the tags, and they are very simple to automate, but you kind of just need to know how the tags work architecturally in the platform, so then you can leverage it in scripts and flows, and that's what I'll show today. So let's just quickly show what tags look like. So first things first, you want to essentially go to your personalized list column, and just add in tags there, so you'll be able to find it on the available list. And as you can see here, I've got a bunch with tags. And what I could do is I could essentially just go to tags and then select one of the tags to report on. So I'm going to use one I created called test incident tag, and we're going to see that in a moment. But if I run that, I can see all of the incidents that I've tagged in. Now that's really helpful in terms of if I want personal incidents that I just want to tag generally, so I know just for myself or for my group or globally, and we're going to show what that looks like. So first we need to create a tag. So just manually create the tag it's always easier, especially if you're an admin. You can do this very quickly. You could also create the tag in the script, but we won't go over that. I'll just show you how to create manually tag, but if it's required, please put a comment on the comment section of the YouTube video, and I can explain how you would do that or how you go about it. So first things first, we're going to go into tags right now, and I've created two tags, and these are the tags I'm going to use in my demonstration. So we will be looking to create one from a flow in terms of incident creation, and then another one where sometimes the flow wouldn't work, and how we could do it from a record producer via a script. So first things first, I'm just going to go test incident tag. So when you create a new tag, essentially it's going to ask for a name, so you give it whichever name you'd like. The owner of the tag, that will default to whoever's creating it, so I would usually leave it as whoever the owner of the tag is. So if it's yourself, great. And then essentially viewable by. Now this is very crucial to ensure who can view it. So if you just want yourself to view it, you'd select me. If you want groups and users, what will occur now is you could then pick the groups and users of who would be able to view the tag, and then everyone, essentially viewable everyone. So we're going to leave it as everyone. So I've created this tag. Now what we're going to look to do is actually create this tag for incidents in a flow. So essentially I've pre-created this flow. It's a very simple flow, so I'm just going to talk it through. So first I want the incident or this flow to trigger when an incident is created. So essentially trigger created, table on the incident, and when the assignment group is service desk, right? So when service desk is assigned, then essentially I want a tag to be created. Now the way the tag would work is you essentially need to create a record within this table called label entry. Now I'll explain how that works. So if we go back quickly, you can see below our label entries, and this is essentially that bridge table between the target table record and the tag you've created. So essentially by creating a record here, you're associating the tag to that particular record. So that's essentially what we have to do. When you're creating a record, and this is why we've created the tag from the get-go, is we can add label and then add the name of the tag. So this will search through the tags. So if I search test, you can see my test incident, and then I've also got another test incident tag that we'll use later down the line. The next important field to add is the table, so ensure what table this tag should be associated to. So I'll put in incident. The table key, now this is essentially the sys of the record you're looking to tag it to, so this is where the association occurs. So in order to add this to the flow, what you need to do, so I'm just going to remove this and show this firsthand. So over here you've got your data variables on the trigger where the record is created. I'm going to drop down on the incident record, and I'm just going to get the sys, okay, and I'm just going to drag and drop. and that essentially would mean it is targeting or getting the incident sysID to populate within this field. And then lastly, label target, it's just a string field, but just add in the table name essentially. Now you could script it to just get the table name, but if you know it, you could easily just add it in. So that's that, and then I'm just gonna save this and activate it. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly show how this works. So now I'm going to go into, I'm going to create a new incident actually. So let me just go into, actually I have it open here. So what I'll do is I'll create a new one. Okay, and yeah, so I'll just pre-fill all of these in, test tag. And then over here, we just want to make sure service desk. So all I'm going to do is save this. And what should now occur is you'd see that if I click on the more options here, it's added the tag test instance tag. So if I go back to my previous list, that would have increased by 1. So just to show that this flow is working, I'm going to create a new incident, 2. And I'm going to actually assign it to a different group. So let's just pick any, doesn't matter. Okay. And now if I click on more options, I can see there is no tag. So it only kicks off for that. Now, great if you know specifically what the identifier is. So the service desk group, but what if service desk group gets loads of tickets and there's only certain tickets that are required, and there's no really unique identifier. In incident, we don't have anything that comes from like an item field that tells us which record producer is produced. So if we wanted to have a specific record producer, which those are tagged, how would we do that? So we could do it via a script within the record producer. So I'm going to show how that would work. So if we go to a record producer, so I've created this record producer, very simple, and I've added just a default variable set called my test instance. Now, when you scroll down, and this will create an instance, you can see the table name. If you scroll down to what it will contain, there is a script section here, and this is where we will essentially add our script. So first things first, I've just set the value to assign group to service desk, so you can see that both tags will apply because of the flow. But you could set essentially any assignment group. Now I'm using sysID just to quickly showcase this, but best practice is not to hardcode sysIDs. And if you're going to generally use this, maybe just switch it with a system property field. And there is a video that I've put up answering a community question that I've shown how you could do that. So I'll put that into the related videos if you do want to see that and how you would switch the sysID for sys property. Yeah, so going down to the next part of the script, which is essentially the tag association script record. So essentially what we're doing here, again, we've put the sysID of tag just for easier access, and this is associated RP test instance tag, which I've shown earlier. So just a new tag just to show it working from this as well. And then we essentially glide record into the label entry table. Now remember, that was the association table we talked about, so the tag has already been built, and that's why it's so much easier just to create the tag manually and then use it essentially. Then we want to initialize. Now initialize just sets all of those fields, those auto populate fields, to kind of blank. So it's always best to do that when you're looking to create a new record. You don't have to do it, but I would say it's best practice to always do that, just to kind of start from a clean slate of that record, not having anything auto populate. Okay, and then we've got our set value to the label. So essentially what the tag is. So because it's reference field, we're getting the sysID from this variable here. We're then setting the table to incident, as we mentioned, and then we're getting the record sysID into the table key. Now I just want to highlight this. On these scripts and record producers, current is always associating the current being the target, that's the record that's being created. So it's not the record producer, it is the record that is being created, and that's when you use current. So if you do want to kind of set the assignment group, current.set value would be the incident or target record, whichever is being created from this script. Okay. Right, and then we're going to set the title. Now this is not required essentially, but I think it's just a nice touch. So if you do want to add that with the tag name and then the current number, just give it the tag a little bit more detail on the back end, but it's not really required. Users wouldn't see that essentially. Okay, and then we just insert that record. So essentially that is what the script is doing. So I'm just going to save this just in case made any changes. Okay, and now I will click try it just to submit this and show you what this looks like. So I just added a default variable set, so I'm just gonna leave that for now. Submit, and now you can see this incident has been created. As you can see, there's quite a few missing mandatory fields, but that's fine because I didn't add those variable sets into there. But now if I click on more options, you can see I've got RP test instance. I've also got the test instance tag, and that is because it's associated to ServiceNow. So you can see my flow working as well as the script within the record producer. So that's all I wanted to show today. I hope that helps show how you can automate tags and how you can use tags for reporting. Please let me know if you have any questions on this, and that's all for today. Bye.